in this Tan Sri Amrin Buang investigation, altogether 16 cases of land swap were studied. And the report was presented to the minister in end of January. And this is one of the best decisions by Minister Masabu, is to hand over these scandals or possible scandals to Tan Sri Amrin Buang to conduct independent investigation. The outcome of investigation, some of which are quite shocking, and some of which prove what we have been complaining these years. For instance, camp for votes. The constructions of Palo Camp, Hutan Melintang Camp, Bera Camp, and Segamat Camp. These camps are meant for vote bank, and these camps were unnecessary from the point of strategic consideration. For instance, Palo Camp is just a few minutes drive away from Makota Camp, and it shouldn't be built there. It was built in the constituency of Palo under the parliamentary constituency of Sembrong, of which the member of parliament is Hishammuddin, and it was purely for political purposes. Likewise, Hutan Melintang, within the seat of Bagan Datuk, which is the seat of Zahid Hamidi, former defense minister, and was meant for political purposes. So this shall never happen again. The other part is that many of these land swap deals were proposed by developer, proposed by vendor, and it wasn't in the plan of the military. And very often military were forced to move to the jungle.
Yes.
For instance, Majidi camp in Johor Bahru was moved to Batu Pahat. Now this was not part of the study. Sungai Besi camp, Sungai Besi Air Base, Sungai Besi Air Base, which is now part of 1MDB. They were moved to Sendayan in Negeri Sembilan. There's this idea that we don't need military bases in the city because the developer need it for valuable land. But in the long run, going into the future, it is not very likely that we will have jungle warfare in Peninsular Malaysia. The chances of having urban warfare, unconventional warfare, not by a state actor, but by terrorist group, by non-state actors, are much higher. It's important to have urban bases. And for instance, the Sungai Besi Air Base in KL. When previous military strategists picked those places, see, Sungai Besi Air Base is just next to the old palace. And the old palace was next to the residence of the Chief of Armed Forces. There were a lot of thinking into where the king should stay, where the Chief of Armed Forces should stay, and where the air base should be. So we no longer have an urban air base for emergency evacuation. And this is what 1MDB has done to the nation. And in general, all this land swap, which were not part of military planning, should be avoided as much as possible. And into the future, I think when we think into the future, our cities may not need to be, not every part of the city should be built for private interests. Some of these urban bases has its values, and there's no need for land swap.